What's the video today? We're going to talk about how to stay sane and productive during a lockdown, being in quarantine, or while social distancing. If that sounds interesting, let's get into the video. So the situation might be slightly different for you out there than they are for me. Different regulations, different things you're allowed to do, different equipment you have at home. But I think these are some general tips that might help everyone out in whatever situation they might be in right now. Tip number one is also the most often given tip after you break up in a relationship, which is to keep busy, focus on projects. Now, this transition hasn't been too hard for me because I've always seeked out things that I could do to improve. That's why I made this channel. I could just make these videos, I could improve at my job, at my hobbies, I could learn new things, read a new book, and by having that mindset in the first place, it was not that hard for me to find things to do during these times. And having that mindset always allows you to find something to do. And I think there's one area of improvement for anyone out there. Another thing that I've been doing, which has really helped me cope with this situation, is to replace activities that I've been doing before and kind of adjust them to social distancing and the new regulations that are in place. So I would go to the gym about 4 times a week, and I can't do that anymore because they're closed by law in the entire country. So I had to find a replacement. I also wanted to find ways to get outside, and I'm allowed to go outside to do sports. So the first thing that came to my mind was running, which allows me to get out into nature, experience nature. Also have a quick workout, which doesn't really follow the targets I set for myself of building muscle and gaining weight, but I felt like it really adds to my day. I feel much better after running, and it's something I can do while maintaining the social distance, and also it's a way to experience nature, and I'm really loving it. Another thing I tried to replace was socializing. So I might not be the person that needs the most social activities to function. I'm probably better off just being on my own, working on stuff, but sometimes it's good to talk to people, tell stories, hear their stories, and kind of just catch up. So instead of meeting up for drinks or coffee, going somewhere, meeting up at the gym, I would just take it online. So what we've done is my friends and I started an online poker round, and we were all talking on Google Hangouts or whatever video call service you're using. I would play video games and have headset on, and I can talk through that. You might just set up a lunch meeting with your co-workers if you're working from home. It's also a great way to keep you busy, just to work on your job if you're able to do that remotely. I know not everyone is able to do that. And yeah, just try to find ways to get social interaction in. You could just call your parents, family as well, so give that a try. This one also brings me to my next point of moving back in with my parents. So since I'm gonna work from home for a long while, I thought it would be good to have other people around, and that's also a good way to kind of cut down on costs of everyone having to cook for themselves, having to do laundry for themselves, having to go shopping for themselves. It saves a lot of time. I can't go anywhere anyways. I'm not supposed to go to work because I'm working remotely now. So there's not really a point of being in this flat that I'm at right now for just getting more things to my parents. So I decided to go to my parents, which might be an option for you, or to your family. I made sure that I was on my own for a week and that I didn't catch any symptoms. I didn't go out at all, and then I've been staying there ever since. Yeah, that has really helped me because it also gave me new ways to socialize and talk to people, do certain activities, because you're allowed to do that with people living in your household and your family. Next tip on my list is to cook a meal. Try new recipes. I've been looking at online recipes and I finally got to try them out. Now, I also got to cook for my family, which was kind of nice to give back because I had time to do that. I don't have to commute anymore. Yeah, but that's just something like a little mini project you could do. It could be something else. It could be drawing a picture, it could be building something out of wood at home. Find these small little projects that you haven't really had time for before, and really appreciate that you have time for that now. Final tip on my list is to keep your daily rituals or weekly rituals that you have been doing in the past. This is also a tip I received from my workplace, where they said you should go for a walk before work, go for a walk after work, because it kind of helps to give a cut in your life and keep your work-life balance. But I think it's important to not fall out of your habits, rituals. So if I've been going to the gym 4 times a week, I've been consistent, it would be a shame if I fell out of it completely by not doing any exercise now, because it is effort to find new exercises. I could do calisthenic movements at home which resemble what I've been doing at the gym. So at least I started running, and I'm doing that around 4 times a week, and I'm staying consistent as to not break my habits, because that might drag you down quite a bit in the long run, and you have to start these habits all over again. So keep what you've been doing before, maybe adjust it a little bit. It's probably a process. We might be in this for a while. No one really knows. Let me know your best tips for how to stay sane and productive during a lockdown. Make sure to keep the balance, and I'll see you all in the next video.